The regional district of Mount Waddington, the Vancouver Island North region, was designated the Force Capital of BC for 2010, and having that organizing committee together really gave us the opportunity to look at bringing logger sports back. And once the idea was out there and got out into the community, it really started rolling. We actually have a couple of athletes from Port McNeill that are helping with the organization, and without them, this wouldn't have been possible. They really jumped on board. The whole region of Vancouver Island North has really been developing itself as more of a destination. Then there's great sport fishing out on the water and in the rivers and lakes, as well as there's the ocean kayaking. There's a lot of access to the west coast of the island, and there's some great beaches over there. Cape Scott Provincial Park has a day hike that you can do out to San Joseph Bay. There's Raft Cove, again another provincial park, and they're just these beautiful stretches of untouched beach. And I've been out there a number of times when you're the only one out there, and it's absolutely beautiful, rugged west coast.
Well, we're back here at the Lumberjack competition, part of OrcaFest in Port McNeill. We're heading into the women's single buck. In total, we had a field of 5 competitors, a heat of 3 and a heat of 2. This first heat features Joanna Foster, Michelle Beaulieu, and Alita Rustin.
That's right, and they're all rookies at the single buck event. First time giving it a try here. These blades, of course, are made for men. They're long, 6-foot single buck saws. This one here's an M2 saw. You can see Joanna having a tough time getting the hang of it. Tough saw to run, not nearly as smooth to run as a peg and raker blade, which Michelle's doing a great job here, running all 6 feet of that blade.
Well, Alita Rustin wins the first heat of 3 and sets a time of 48.51, heading into our final heat with Sarah and Anita. This groundwork we have right here, you dug yourself a hole, and the logs are already high, so you wanted that hole to hold your feet in those holes?
Oh yeah, you definitely want to have the traction and have your feet stable. I lost my back foot there, and it kept sliding around. But yeah, kept getting the saw stuck, but yeah, I think it went okay.
Anita, you're preparing your single buck saw there, and I noticed you got 4 holes in that saw. Tell me why you've got it in the second hole from the bottom.
The saw is pretty aggressive, and this wood is quite soft, so I'm putting it on a hole closer to the bottom because it'll be easier for me to cut. If I put it on the top and I throw weight on the saw, it'll be really aggressive, so I won't be able to move the saw.
Well, Rod, you talked about it at the top of the show. This is our feature heat in the women's single buck. Sarah Mooney taking on Anita Jazowski, probably among the 2 best women sawyers in all of British Columbia.
That's right, and actually beautiful wood here. Usually when you go to a show and you see the wood not chopping that good when it's pine, you know it's going to saw a lot better than that. So I'd expect these saws to really eat this wood alive.
Well, the time of 48.51 is going to fall here for sure. Both these women, although Anita struggles right at the top there, catches a raker.
Sarah's pulling really smoothly, using almost the full length of that blade. Nice and consistent. You see her running that blade really smoothly.
Now this is the way to run a crosscut saw. Sarah Mooney very, very smooth, although Anita's making some ground here. Again, she struggles with a stop at the end, towards the end.
But man, her blade's cutting a lot faster. You see her actually outpacing Sarah right now.
And she's a little bit aggressive. I guess the saw's a little bit too aggressive, catching those rakers, but Anita Jazowski wins a single buck at 25.93. Seems like you got a heavy and aggressive saw there. I mean, it was dropping quickly, but you weren't moving too fast. It was just dropping, though.
It pulled fairly well. That's the nicest log it's been in this year, actually, so I'm not complaining. Little hang up, I dropped the saw a little bit on the back end of my pull, but it wasn't too bad.
And we talked to you earlier about the handle placement and the 4 holes there. Did you pick the right placement?
Definitely. If I'd gone higher, it would have been a lot. I would have had a lot more work to do.
Well, it's great to see the women giving their hand at the single buck event here. And what a better way to do it than watching Anita and Sarah, 2 pros at this. Anita taking first place in the single buck, 25.93 seconds.